Ah, dogs. Who doesn't love them? They make great hunting buddies, loving pets, and even lifesavers. They can be great guard dogs too. You just don't want them barking at nothing all the time. It's annoying. You get it? Throughout history, humans have bred dogs for certain looks or behaviors. And while there are all sorts of breeds now, from tiny Chihuahuas to gigantic Great Danes, scientists all agree that dogs are descended from wolves. But when did dogs first appear on Earth? Were they around for thousands of years? Hundreds of thousands? What about millions? Stick around as we look back through the ages to find out when dogs first appeared on Earth. Our furry friends may have been with us for longer than you think. And while we often picture them as loyal and loving companions, these days their ancestors were actually fearsome predators. Over the eons, humans and dogs have developed a special bond, and for good reason. After all, dogs can be trained to do almost anything, from acting with a famous person, to helping the police catch bad guys, to searching for survivors in disaster areas. They really are a man's best friend. But before being our best friend, dogs used to be wild animals that roamed free on the earth. Scientists believe that domestication began when people started farming. With more food available, humans no longer had to travel around looking for food. This meant some people could stay in one place and watch over crops, livestock, and villages. Other members of the group would still go out to hunt, but they didn't need to go far to find prey. After all, some animals would be looking to pilfer their food. Enter the wolf, a highly intelligent, fierce hunter and very social animal. Wolves live in packs and hunt together to take down prey much larger than themselves. Each member of the pack has its own role, from keeping everyone fed to watching for enemies. These smart animals are also known for their adaptability and strength. It wasn't long before wolves that came across human settlements realized there was an easy source of food to steal. Humans kept lots of animals for food, so there were plenty of opportunities for a sneaky wolf to make a meal of a goat or sheep. Sometimes the wolves that approached human settlements were killed. But sometimes humans may have realized it was easier to share the food they had with a wolf than try to fight it off. The wolves that came around people weren't necessarily friendly. They soon realized they could benefit by hanging around humans. And this led to an unlikely friendship between the two species. People found the wolves useful because they could help hunt and guard, while the wolves got a steady source of food. There is evidence that humans started domesticating wolves as early as 14,000 years ago, though other evidence suggests it may have been closer to 40,000 years ago. Either way, it was a long time ago, likely after humans left Africa and migrated to other parts of the world. And it's thought that different groups of humans domesticated wolves separately after leaving Africa. There's evidence that modern dogs have DNA from up to 5 separate wolf populations, suggesting multiple domestication events. But why do we say that dogs were domesticated rather than the other way around? After all, wolves evolved into dogs, right? Well, yes, but domestication is a process that takes many generations. Animals that are domesticated are selectively bred by humans for desirable traits, which means the animals that pass on their genes to the next generation are chosen because they have certain looks or behaviors. Domestication is a gradual change in behavior and looks. And the truth is that if you took most dogs and dropped them in the wild, they wouldn't survive. Wolves, on the other hand, are perfectly adapted to the wild and can survive without human help. That means wolves evolved into dogs as humans chose which animals to breed, which changed the species over time. But how do scientists know that wolves were the ancestors of dogs? They didn't just read dog DNA and see that it was very similar to wolf DNA. If that was all they did, they might conclude that both animals shared a common ancestor, instead of one being the ancestor of the other. But scientists found something else. When scientists studied mitochondrial DNA, or mtDNA, they found that dogs share the same mtDNA as wolves. This is important because mtDNA is only inherited from the mother, unlike regular DNA, which comes from both parents. This means that if two dogs have the same mtDNA, they share a common ancestor that lived in the past. Scientists compared the mtDNA of dogs and wolves with that of other animals, and found that wolves and dogs are more closely related than any other animal. So they concluded that wolves must be the ancestors of dogs. But scientists haven't stopped there. They've used morphology, the study of the physical features of animals, and paleontology, the study of fossils, to learn more about the origins of dogs. One of the main reasons scientists think that wolves are the ancestors of dogs is that the two animals share several characteristics. Both animals have pointy ears, fur, paws with rough pads on the bottom, whiskers, and are generally about the same size. Also, dogs can sometimes display wolf-like characteristics such as howling at the moon. Some dogs also have tails that look like wolves too. And while not all dogs have pointy ears are a primitive trait in dogs, meaning they have kept this feature from their ancestors. Fossils also provide clues to the origin of dogs. The problem is that dogs and wolves have been around for so long that finding their fossils isn't easy. The oldest fossils of dogs that have been discovered are between 12,000 and 14,000 years old. Most dog bones found by archaeologists aren't preserved enough to be classified as fossils. Instead, scientists use paleophyses or coprolites to learn more about prehistoric dogs. Coprolites are fossilized poop, which may sound gross, but they can tell us a lot about an animal. For example, scientists can determine what a creature ate by studying its poop. In fact, scientists analyzed the coprolites of humans who lived 14,000 years ago. In some of the samples, they found traces of dog DNA. And while this doesn't prove that dogs were present, it does suggest that they were living alongside humans at this time. So the question is, based on everything we know, when did dogs first appear on Earth? Well, the answer depends on who you ask. Different organizations have reached different conclusions based on their studies. According to the American Kennel Club, dogs were domesticated between 12,000 and 30,000 years ago. Meanwhile, the Canadian Centre for DNA Barcoding says that scientists have narrowed down the window to between 9,600 and 17,700 years ago. However, some experts believe that dogs were domesticated even earlier, as far back as 40,000 years ago. And where did dogs originate? According to the American Kennel Club, dogs probably originated in Europe and the Middle East. But according to the Canadian Centre for DNA Barcoding, they arose somewhere in a region that included Germany, Switzerland, Russia, and China. So where did they come from? Well, according to the American Kennel Club, dogs descended from gray wolves. But according to the Canadian Centre for DNA Barcoding, dogs descend from an extinct population of wolves. It seems like we may never know exactly when or where dogs first appeared on Earth, and that's okay. We may never know exactly what sparked the unusual friendship between humans and wolves. But it's safe to say that once people realized the benefits of having a wolf by their side, they never looked back. Wolves offered protection and could help with the hunt, while people provided a steady source of food. Wolves proved to be easy to train, and pretty soon, humans and wolves were working together to take on the world. But one thing is clear, this relationship changed both species forever. Wolves became smaller with shorter snouts, floppy ears, and curlier tails, while humans learned the true meaning of loyalty. And having a loyal friend around sure beats being lonely. And that's why you should never be afraid to show your friends just how much you care. Your friends will be grateful for it, even if they don't show it at first. They'll let you know in their own way. It may take some time, but eventually they'll warm up to you. Just be patient. It's worth it. So do you have a friend who's like a sibling to you? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more fun science videos. See you next time.